Hope everyone is doing well, and we are with update 37 of the forest with a new crafting interaction. So now you can place the objects onto the weapon where you'd like. You can kind of design something. Tree sap plus a crafting object like glass, feathers, or teeth. You can rotate the object with WASD, and then with the mouse you can find a spot you'd like to place it and click. I'm placing glass right now, and as you can see as I go through the materials, it just keeps on bringing in more for me. So be careful in wasting materials, but it also makes it a lot faster and easier. Looks pretty cool. You can now place custom floors, just floors, onto rock walls. Also, when you hold C, it's going to switch modes between autocomplete and manual. Instead of holding C to have it autocomplete, there are just different modes you toggle between. Which I think is going to help people out because you can also see where it will place if you would place it. So you don't have to guess what it's going to autocomplete or not. Medicine cabinets now have a second row. Place a lot more medicine on it versus last time where I think it was just 8 maximum. So they doubled it up for you. You can craft a weak spear with 2 sticks. Sometimes you get unlucky and you can't find one, so this is pretty helpful because you'll always be able to find weak sticks all over the place. The numbers have become more readable, and the selection has become a little bit tighter. As well, if you go to crafting, they have added a cloth section. If you didn't know this existed, you can kind of see what you could make. But now you can see lizard armor, stealth armor, bone armor, deer skin, rabbit shoes, snowshoes. The water skin has changed. Now it holds 2 full replenishments. So if you go from full to just flat out, I have no water at all, it could fill you up twice. If you decide to drink at partial, halfway, you're not starving or anything, it will only use that amount. So right now I'm going to 0.5 thirst, I drink, 0.5 thirst, I drink, 0.5 thirst, I drink. Since I have 2 refills in there now, I should be able to do it 4 times, in which I can. The waterfalls now have a really pretty trickle effect. If you look at the edges of the rocks, it means they're a lot calmer looking, but it's still very pretty. Blood shader. So they've just made the blood shader look better, and I decided the best way to show off the blood was a bloodbath. Look at them as I damage them. You can kind of see it. A lot of action. The blood flying off. And then right here is a really good example. It looks less painty on them. More splattered across their body. You can see on the left the fire has changed. It looks really good, I think. And then the fire on the right has also changed a little bit, and it looks nice. Molotovs now have liquid in them. If you kind of look up and down, shake it around, you can see there's a liquid bouncing around. And then the fire itself has been updated. It sort of bends to the direction you're going, so if you're going hard left, then the fire will bend right a little bit. Hard right, the fire will bend even more left than it already does. And you can see it kind of plays around that way too. It looks nice. The fire pit model has changed for the basic and just the fire pit itself. You can see they have this nice kind of burnt material below it. And then of course the fire has changed too. It's looking pretty. And the bonfire, I think it's changed. It's obviously not the same type of fire effect, but I'm pretty sure that's changed as well. And with the fire, when you feed it, it doesn't get super large like it used to. They added more skulls in the skull bag. I thought that was funny, so yeah. The plane is supposed to get mossy over time. I ran around for a bunch of days and it didn't get mossy, but that might mean it's you know, like not 10 days, it's 40 or something. But there is an old plane on the island, and I can imagine it'll look a little bit like that. They added some new options under control settings. You can turn on and off certain input devices. I didn't see some of those options. Might have had a bug, might have been blind, but I've never had any issues with my controllers either. But if you've had, definitely check that out, it's worth it. They have a new ambient occlusion type, so we go from SSAO, it's called the Legacy, to HBAO. The HBAO will take a little bit more resources. It tries to correct some of the issues with SSAO, like direction is not so evident with SSAO, and it should be a bit better. You can kind of see the shadows flickering around in the background as I flip it around. And the frame difference shouldn't be too much, and you might have a preference for SSAO, but technically I think HBAO should be better. We also have a new anti-aliasing option, FXAA, which kind of blurs the edges a little bit, but has a very low cost and is a decent anti-aliasing. You're generally going to see those changes on, like, you know, sharp edges and stuff. And then we have the bit more detailed one, which of course will also take a little bit more resources. But they politely call that high, so it's kind of obvious which one's going to take more. Alright, and that's a lot of the visual changes in the forest, but let's check out this new magazine they added in the plane head, where you can find the flare. It says, TV star's wife dies, the tragic accident exposed, real. It looks like it's got our main character in the clothes that you are in when you actually crash in the game. So that's some fun information right there. You can go with it what you will. And onto the list. New snow particle effects added for the mountain area. This is when it rains. I could not get it to rain while I was messing around, but look forward to snow now. That's pretty cool. When you have a healthy diet, your weight will now go down to its base value, so you're no longer stuck at a very large weight even if you begin to do something good. New art added: dead lawyers, one body, two heads, court papers, and suitcase. New art: Timmy's crayons. You can now toggle crouch mode under the gameplay options if you prefer to do that instead of holding it. New magazine / story item pickup, I think I showed that. Added moss to enemy placed effigies. Having a burning weapon in the right hand now counts as a light in regards to the tutorial for lights in caves. Improved the player fall down injured animation. Positioning when placing ghost medicine cabinet. Sinkhole cave door textures. Increased book tab readability. Hit trigger range of deadfall and swinging rock traps, so they should work better for faster mutants, I guess. Speed and range, that weapon will move away when close to a wall. Speed and aggressiveness of cow mutants. Ooh. Water jump height slightly increased to make it easier to get onto the rafts while in water. Log sled no longer floats if pushed into the sinkhole. Meat placed on the drying rack stays even when the client disconnects. Player now disconnects from log sled when falling from a height. Poison arrows can no longer poison players when shooting while sprinting forward. Recipe tutorial now goes away as soon as there is any valid recipe on the crafting mat. Rephrase lighter tutorial to be more generic and work with flashlight as default light. Repeat until all upgrade views are in place, or right click to cancel upgrading. We showed that in the beginning. Rip particle caver magazine version for survival book notes section. Adding item to weapon rack structure now properly clears the cloth and fire. Multiplayer changes. Clamp player velocity when pause menu or player menu is open. Fix animation glitchiness when dropping bodies in client as multiplayer. Fix blocking animation cutting off remote for players. Fix client picking up animal yields leaving a broken duplicate copy behind. Fix clients not getting logs from dead trees. Fix clients not seeing animals after an extended playtime. Fixed hosts sometimes appearing on angle for clients and multiplayer. Fixed missing lighter texture on other player lighters. Fixed Molotovs thrown from multi-thrower not breaking correctly for clients. Fixed picking up logs and holder while jumping causing it to vanish. It now properly drops the log. Balance remove soda / medication spawning from dead mutant bodies. Ooh. Multiplayer, fixed animals not aligning to terrain correctly as client. Fixed jerky crocodile movement for clients. That came out of order, sorry. Improved the look of the lighter flame. Audio changes. Added drop sound to many items when dropped. Added impact sound effect when rope swinging trap hits enemies or player. Added waterfall sounds to waterfalls and sinkhole. Armsy now makes sound when detecting players' presence nearby. Balance the ocean sounds. Fix building repair sound always playing for host location in multiplayer. Fix double up fall sound effect in multiplayer. Fix player burning vocals not being synced in multiplayer. Fix push sled sound not being synced in multiplayer. Houseboats now play audio event when on water. Improve deer audio when deers are set alight. Player now grasps for air when surfacing with rebreather equipped. Sinkhole ambient audio working. Tuned tent flap sounds. Tuned wet footsteps and leaves falling sounds. Added dynamic sound effect to broken parts of cage. Added leafless whoosh when burnt trees fall. Added new close surf sounds. Added sound of liquid when equipping a Molotov. Oh yes, that's pretty cool. Added squeal to burning babies when they die. Oh, these devs. Mutant dodge roll audio added. New audio event for upgrade success. New jump/land on snow sound effect. Tuned mix of player footsteps on wet surfaces like lakes, rivers, leaf rustle, cardboard drags, and after storm sounds. Better yacht interior and exterior reflections were off of the audio changes, by the way. Broken stalagmites should now react to the cave floors instead of falling through them. Some cave changes. Fix Cave 9 sinkhole entrance not being visible from above ground. Fix hole in Cave 1 leaking light. Fixed holes in Cave 10. Fixed Timmy drawings in Cave 2. Drawing 2 in Cave 1 not being pickable. Just throw those numbers around there for you. Fixed various rock scale issues. Adjusted misaligned rocks in sinkhole. Cleaned up cook icon. Cleaned up position of building buttons in book. Cleaned up/improved some areas around beach cliff area. Cliff rocks will now appear wet/dark based on the height of the ocean. Current armor display in the HUD is now based on max amount of both armor and cold armor. Enable pop-up for resolution and preset option settings should help setting things up on lower end hardware. Oh yeah. Are you sure you'd like to do this kind of thing? Alt-tab breaking open animation of crash. Oh, okay. Yeah, so when you Alt-tab and the opening scene breaks because of it. Animation issues when picking up small rocks, tennis balls while blocking. Basic fire being on slight angle when placed. Block animation not showing correctly from remote players in multiplayer. Blur on particle when pause menu is open. Enclosed walls not properly storing data, causing stacked walls to not go all the way around. Fix fires turning huge if burnt out while cold and lit again. Food and blood poisoning settings preventing it from being effective. Geese sometimes floating above water. Having a movement key press bringing mouse back to center screen while in menu. Held Molotov blur breaking when camera moved. Hole in player mesh visible to other players in multiplayer. Life preservers clipping in Cave 10. Lizard ragdoll distorting when dropped if carrying a maximum amount already. Meat on rack not properly syncing status updates with all clients. Missing item throwing reticle. Offset between cursor and actual click position in menus. Partial ocean waves visible inside yacht when outside yacht. Player not taking fall damage while doing the flying axe attack. Just make sure people know that is fixed, so you could take fall damage now. Positioning of glass upgrade views. Rain emitters not properly following players' rotation. Some issues with placing floors/roofs on non-flat walls. It now tries to cancel the positions that are too far from the rest to try preventing floors from floating mid-air, eventually canceling autofill if not a points remain. Some items and enemy built effigies not being pickupable. Some navigation issues in between information chapters of book. Some of the dead trees being uncuttable. Throwing unlit Molotovs at unlit fires lighting it. Throwing Molotovs missing fire. Umbrella effigy having single-sided faces and improved shading. Upgrade not properly applying bonus, also fixing reloading flare gun with flares. Wall chunks replaced by textured quad at distance, also getting cleared out of the navigation grid. Finally, improved the UVs on yacht interior. And that is all of the changes in the Forest Update 37. Thank you so much, I appreciate listening, and thank you to In-Night Games. The next update will be in about 13 to 14 days, it said, so that's pretty quick. They've been moving a bit faster than before, but they've always been on a pretty good schedule. If they ever move something around, it's usually only a day or so, so that's pretty cool. Look forward to the next update. I hope everybody has a great day. Feel free to drop any questions or comments down below, and I will get to them. Take care.